to the end of 2024. So they're prepared for major disruptions to happen, and you should be stocked up as well too. So let's get into these 40 plus items really quick. I'm just going to read them off for you guys so you guys can potentially get stocked up on these things if you need it. All right, so just starting off here: seafood, shrimp, salmon, cod, bananas, cherries, mangoes, dates, figs, avocados.
If your paycheck isn't for a couple of days, but you're needing some money now, I got you. So Dave Extra Cash has been my absolute
pineapple, fruit juice. All right, all the stuff comes in through our ports, and it's actually, some of it's actually sitting at the ports right now. There's reports that the docks in Florida, there is food rotting there right now. Food is sitting on the docks in Florida. Fruit and seafood is sitting there and it's rotting. All right, so this is happening across the country right now. Food is sitting there and it's going to waste, right? Pineapples, fruit juice, apple juice, 80% of which comes from overseas. 80% of our apple juice and a lot of these fruit juices come from overseas, all right? Chocolate is going to be affected. Coffee, a lot of the coffee comes from overseas. Most of these, even if you're supporting a smaller coffee brand, a lot of them use coffee that's coming from a different country. That's just the industry. Artificial Christmas trees and also holiday items, right? We could see shortages on any type of Halloween, Thanksgiving, or Christmas items coming into the future, right? A lot of retailers have stocked up, but these things are going to be harder to get as time goes on, especially if these strikes are prolonged. Cars, beef, steak, pork, cheese, alcohol, rum, vodka, electronics, cell phones, computers, toys, Legos. Right, a lot of these things are just coming from overseas. All the phones we have, even the iPhones, right? Apple's a American brand, but all their manufacturing is overseas. Most of it in China, some of it's actually in India now, and a few other countries, right? But primarily in China. So that's coming in the West Coast, right? And a lot of these Android phones are coming in the West Coast too. So hopefully those won't be too heavily affected, but they will be affected to some capacity, right? Toys like Legos, they come from overseas in Europe. My son loves those, all right? So that might be an issue for him. Even the kids are being affected by this, all right? Pharmaceuticals, vitamins, ibuprofen, chemo drugs. This is getting serious. Most of these medications come from overseas, right? Most of these serious medications that people need and rely on, it's not manufactured here anymore, right? Which is a national security risk in itself. All right, chemo drugs, insulin medication and insulin drugs, Ozempic, anti-rejection drugs for transplants, all right? That's a major one. If we can't get these drugs on, what are we going to do? Metal parts, die-cast parts, car parts, alternators, generators, plywood, chemicals. A lot of the plywood, do you think it's wood? Do you think it's made here? A lot of it comes from China and overseas. It's imported from overseas, all right? Chemicals, motor oil, tools, power tools as well, right? So that's around 45 different items right there, that 40 plus items that are gonna see shortages if this strike continues, and they're already being affected because they're already shutting things down. They've already been shutting it down the past week, getting the rail lines ready and getting the ports ready. All the retailers are preparing for this, all right? And we also have both Walmart and Costco are saying this. Walmart, which is the largest U.S. container shipper in the whole country, right? They're the largest mover of container shipments, Walmart. Makes sense, but when you really think about it, it's like, wow, So they're heavily going to be affected by this. They are saying that they have been stocking up and prepping the past